Is this live, I think? Yeah. Okay, so before I forget, I haven't done a podcast on this device in a while. And in fact, I want to make sure it works audio-wise. But yeah, so funny. I was wondering about this guy I've recently started following. I was wondering if I'd ever see him, it doesn't indicate them live. Oh, but there it does. Kind of, not as high as, well, yeah, not as high as I thought it would be, but I always wondered if I don't know what that noise is. But it reminds me of a little bit. Okay, so there's a bit of a, I don't know if that's, no, that I wouldn't tell myself that I'm watching. There's a bit of a, sounded funny. There's a bit of an echo that I'm hearing. I don't know if you're hearing it. And if so, I apologize. Maybe it's cool. There's also a bit of a rhythmical sound. It reminds me of when I was listening to the radio earlier today and I heard a familiar song. I still don't know who it was, some female singer. Oh, okay, sorry. I don't know why that's open. I really don't. Sorry, I'm just distracted by something I'm seeing on the computer. I don't doubt that. Well, yeah, there is. Well, there is. Maybe we can find other options if the thing doesn't work out. That's something else we can do in our appointment, you know. But honestly, employment is most important. But well, nobody's here yet. But before I forget, I just want to quickly say that the setting or the options are different on the computer versus the tablet for going live for some reason. Like I was able to have a description line, which was good because my title was just a tad too long. It almost seemed like the computer, on the big screen anyway, allowed it to be a smidgen longer, but it was still, and then I added a little to it in the description. And then it said something about public, subscribers only. And then there was a third one, which I can't remember at the moment, but it didn't make sense because really, there really only needs to be those two options. It's one of the two, you know. But I'll be right back. But yeah, so it reminded me of that thing on the radio where there was this song in the background, they were playing with the volumes, and it was just like the same part over. It was instrumental, even though it wasn't. It was a song that does otherwise have lyrics. Anyway, I hate to go just downstairs and the dogs see me do that, and then I'm back up. But yeah, now for another hour and a bit. So, but I might not be that long doing this, but we'll see. I'm curious with the title, even though it's a little bit wordy. I'm glad. Here you come, Ethan. Good little boy. Nobody watching at the moment. You know, I don't feel like my slippers are keeping me. I know, old school. It's like I told him with this old school thermos. It's just, you know, not that it's super cold in the house, but the coolness that I am noticing, it seems to go into the slippers. So socks are better. So, but yeah, no. Weirdly, I was kind of doing some rush shopping a while ago, and I got these, and I honestly thought they were shoes at first, but I pretty quickly realized they weren't. But and it was actually from I grabbed 3 socks unintentionally because there must have been 2 pairs down there stacked beside each other or whatever. Well, I don't have 3 feet, so but anyway, yeah, and so I just quickly grabbed them. and it was a donation center where everything's free, so I didn't really look that closely. And yeah, I didn't. Yeah, like I say, I was rush shopping, kind of, sort of. Didn't have a lot of time, and so. But they're nice for around the house, and sometimes they keep my feet warm, sometimes they don't, and sometimes I just kind of like to wear them. Um, oh, what a good boy, hey? Yeah. And that works out well for doing the videos up here. I didn't have to bring him up, but he was kind of alert looking, so the dog. So, but yeah, yeah. Sometimes like my feet are kind of having a particularly sensitive day to the floor, which is Asperger's or whatever, then or the ground rather, the floor. No, it's weird. I feel well. I don't think it's weird actually. I feel inside floor and ground work both using that language, but I wouldn't say that the ground outside could be called the floor. Thoughts? um, and sometimes it's somebody's English is and I don't know people that write a certain way because English isn't their first language or whatever. Like I'm not never mean to them or whatever, but sometimes it just sounds cool. It's kind of like how Yoda speaks, but different. It just sounds neat, right? I forget the Yoda quote I heard today. That would be another thing. Any favorite things that you or a loved one or family and friends say, or that you can think of that are fun Yoda speak? But nobody's watching at the moment, so. Ooh. Just gotta check some. And I know I did check the volume, but come through the comments with low positivity quotes, advice you're seeking, plus a fun activity idea I have. Well, the very few ones that I have a description line too. Okay, so there's a bit of a, I don't know if that's, no, that I wouldn't tell myself that watching. There's a bit of a, sounded funny. There's a bit of an echo. Yeah, I don't notice it being too bad. After a couple of online appointments, video call appointments using a particular feature, I thought that the webcam or audio didn't work at all on this device, but it sounds like it mostly does. And yeah, like I say, it was because the title was a little bit long, so I decided to do it here. Because one thing I was pretty sure is I could add it to the description line. So, and I could. So I'm curious what our viewer, I've been rolling for about 8 minutes and we have one, and I think you're the first one. I'm curious what you think of the title. And yeah, I mean, I always love the idea of when a YouTube video is conversational. I mean, I'm rarely scripted either way, but unless I'm doing a song and then I'm following the music. But yeah, it wasn't inspired by, because initially I was going to go live and I just had an idea, which is a bit harder to do because I'm on a computer that's stationary now, of saying, I don't exactly know how, kind of like an I Spy, but kind of not, like saying an item, for instance, and then I'll look and see if I can see that item or a similar item in the room, and then show it and talk about it, whatever. I don't know if there's a different way that game could be done, but welcome, second viewer. I'm just going to quickly look at the menus here. Common community participants. I don't know what clicking participants means. Moderation, activity, test dance, reactions. Okay. No, that just shows the people. Okay, well, that's interesting, and I don't remember that last time. That being said, well, I mean, I'm live doing this, so I know. And the other two people, you've been here for a few minutes so far, so that's lovely and great, and I appreciate it. But it doesn't say who they are here, so until you put a comment, I don't know. Now, looking at this, so yeah, I've started to follow this one guy's channel, and he usually has fairly short videos. I think his longest has been like 9 minutes. Don't know how he does it, and he's very zen. But in my mind, I kind of thought, and I don't catch a lot of videos while they're live, actually, other than the ones I do, like that I make. But it's kind of like I had the thought. I wonder if I'm ever going to catch him live and get to converse with him. I mean, he kind of he almost seems to pick and choose, maybe, but maybe that's just how it comes across. I don't know, but he kind of tries to catch up with his keep up with his comments. He actually does very well. He had 190 something people watching. I don't know how long he'd been rolling for, but the live chat was quite active. But there was there was some trolls, and I was putting in some comments, and I was hoping he would read one, and I'll have to go back and watch later. It might be into the live category, but he was getting a lot of other comments too, and he was doing kind of like, he may not be scripted, but he maybe starts a video with certain things in mind that he wants to say, so he makes sure he tries to work those in, and he's very zen. And this is the first time I'd seen him live, like I say, and he but like he would, and he sometimes says some kind of off-sounding things, but he's very smart, and I really enjoy watching him and listening to him. But I guess we all say things that sound a little off sometimes, right? I don't know, but I mean, I think he's a little bit younger than me, and I hate to say age brings wisdom, but the longer you live, the more experience. I mean, when you're young, you can go through a lot. Young being anywhere from kid to in your 20s, right? But when you're older, you've usually went through even more, right? Although I don't know, every life's different, I guess. But I'm glad that we've had you both here for about 6 or 7 minutes so far. If there's comments coming in, live chat, all messages visible. Why wouldn't it have automatically? So, oh, okay. And I don't know. Yeah. So, but yeah, the art you're seeing behind, by the way, it just caught my eye, is a mandala that Glenn made. This is a shared channel. That's something I did in a class, a painting class years ago. Meeting Thursdays. But it's true that the teacher did help a fair amount, mostly with the technique of the trees, a little bit with blending. I mean, I'm not a skilled painter by any means. Would you? So aside from the title, and both people left at the same time. Oddly, it's like they thought, well, I dislike art, or you can't even paint your. I don't know what they thought. Anyway, does it matter? I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta laugh it off, or think silly to kind of, so it doesn't kind of annoy you or whatever as much, or I don't know how. Does this make sense? Anyway, we do have someone just tuned in. I don't know if it was the person who was here before or otherwise. I've been rolling for just over 12 minutes, and you're the only one here at the moment. So my questions are, do we want to, they left. I don't know if I need a light on in here right now. I think it's pretty all right. Oh, I might need this here. Let's see. I guess that is a thing though, like with that guy, like he wasn't allowing himself to get overwhelmed. I mean, he's used to them after the fact, I guess, but he was, and just happened to do well, wasn't allowing himself to get overwhelmed by all the comments. But it also came across like he wasn't trying to keep up. Different people are different people, right? Or people are all more alike than different, perhaps, but everybody's different. Everyone's unique. Everybody's on a different journey, I guess you could say. And so it's kind of like, it's not that he doesn't value his commenters, and it's not that he doesn't want to be appreciated or whatever. And some could say, oh, well, probably does his best. I don't know how much he honestly tries. And it's not, I'm not trying to really mostly not judge him either way, but it's kind of like, then you got people like me who are feeling very conversational and, see the value in the I mean, if it's anything otherwise, then you don't need to be watching or commenting, but seeing the value in what people say and just really wanting to enjoy that. I'm curious on a different device. Well, I guess I just proved I could a moment ago, actually, because I did a sound check where I played a bit of this one, and yet I'm live. So I kind of want to play a little bit of that, guys, actually, just because not that we have anybody watching at the moment, but maybe just to kind of listen to until we do. And if something's holding my attention, I might finish listening to it, and then you know, and so because I'm curious to hear what people think about what this guy has to say, as well as what I have to say. So, and it could be the topics, but I mean, there is a title, and this might be another one because a lot of topics are big, and when you throw in a few, it might take more than one video to cover. That's a nice iPhone. Just always be honest. I understand that he's on YouTube, and so people will say if it's on YouTube, then you want to be known about but I don't know. Some people, they're okay with just like one or two active commenters really makes a difference. But more is welcome. But they're okay with just whoever finds it. They don't need to be like super widespread and shared on all the platforms and this and that. Like that, I mean, I don't know, maybe anxiety or they just I don't know. But sometimes, and one or two people came in at different times, both from India, but one not living in India, and they said, I noticed that you didn't have any views or whatever. So in a way, it's kind of good because it might mean that somebody would come in and say something. But whoops, I don't know if and I have time later to do the thing. I don't know. I don't think he would mind me. I mean, maybe I won't identify him until I asked somebody else, but it was a very well done. It wasn't like a homemade video, or not obviously so. Like you couldn't see the person in it. It was just like a motivational type video. But somebody said that they thought of him, and it was a long video, so maybe he was in it at some point. But I don't know. I mean, if I find a moment that feels right, I know sometimes I'll ask people to do a favor. It's like, oh, okay, well, if anybody ever asks, then it's like, well, you might, or sometimes you have to ask for what you want. Doesn't mean you always get it, but or what you're trying to do for someone else, because otherwise it is less likely to happen. Most of the time, I would say. But yeah, if I think about it at some point in time, I'll try and ask him, and would you like me to go back and plug under my video in the description or whatever your channel? Because I shared a bit of it because I was watching one of your lives just before I went live. In fact, I had been intending to go live. When I came on, I saw that you were live, and I was like, oh, I have to check that out. Right now, I see a wall and some pots. Oh, I don't know if this is still live. No, it's not. But it is one of his longest ones, ironically. And today I've done a couple of my shortest ones since starting to upload. I think my own channel, like the non-shared one here, I think the number sounds familiar that I need like 500 subscribers to be able to go live. And I mean, I'm almost middle age. I get burnt out now. I don't know what I'm going to feel like in 20 years if I make it that far. I don't know. It's kind of like I only saw like the last 20 minutes of this, but it's like I couldn't imagine how long that would take to get that many. Especially when sometimes they're slow. Like I've been talking for about 10 minutes, it feels like now, and nobody's been here. I go find my crystal. How'd you guys find the stream? I'm always curious. Did it like pop up on your recommended? Interesting. I've seen about, like I said, some of them are short, but whatever. I've seen about maybe 7 or 8 of this guy's videos. Even if I did say his channel name without a link, his name is so common that it really wouldn't be helpful, I don't think. Unless you could see it in my subscriptions, I don't know. But all these ones I've seen, like I say, today was the first time I've seen him live, and I believe this is the first time I've maybe seen him ask a question.
Do you get notification? Also, should I should probably put a thumbnail on there, right?
Difference between join and subscribe and a thumbnail like this? Or what do you mean? Oh, right, an image? Well, does it
It's too late now.
automatically do that with your YouTube image?
I forgot to do a thumbnail.
I'm just going to talk to him until you come talk to me.
It's funny. I thought about inviting my Discord to the stream.
Everybody's on about this. Well, I've started to hear about it recently. Is it something new? Like, two of my viewers have mentioned it, and they almost seem like the same person, but they weren't. It was, yeah. And I've heard of it once or twice else, but like just starting to.
I don't even really want there to be too many people here.
What is it? See, told you.
Because on the last stream, there were so many people I couldn't even keep up. It was just like
I didn't know. I hadn't watched this part.
And then I always wonder, like, where's the line between being just an entertainer and then actually?
Well, this says that it is live, but then when I look at my browsing history, when I scroll down, it does not show as live anymore. Maybe it's still processing. No, and there's no other indicator saying that it is. So
interacting with the community, like I see a lot of the bigger streamers, and they get so many comments. It seems like they don't even have time to respond to any comments. It's almost like they're just putting on a show.
You mean like cool. You? But
like I can do that.
But nothing about putting on a show, sort of. Just kidding. I didn't mean for that to come from his way. Yeah, his live chat doesn't show either. I don't think it's device specific though, because on the computer I think it does. Anyway, I'm also going to try and emulate, or
are you confused at all about?
I'm going to try and do what. Yeah, so I won't hear my comments, so last 5 minutes. But I'm going to try and do what he does when he stops to take breath. Whether there's a viewer here or not, I think I'm going to do that. You know, like to. But first of all, just gonna check my audio again because I think I just pressed something when I put the device beside the other device, tablet beside the laptop. I think it pulled the cord.
Tablet beside the laptop. I think.
Nope. Okay, next.
On there, right?
Oh, we got a viewer. Welcome. Wouldn't it be very ironic if it's whose video I'm watching as I multitask? While I do so, I'm curious to hear what you think about what I'm going to play out. And I'm not saying who out of respect for him, even though he did post it on the internet. Anyone if he did got a comment name and he left, so I've already said this stuff. Nobody was here when I said it before.
It's funny, I thought about inviting my Discord to the stream, but I don't even really want there to be too many people here. Because on the last stream, there were so many people I couldn't even keep up. It was just like a lot of energy. And then I always wonder, like, where's the line between being just an entertainer and then actually interacting with the community?
It's like, important. People want that, I feel.
And they get so many comments, it seems like they don't even have time to respond to any comments. It's almost like they're just putting on a show,
mostly do.
Which is cool.
These
like,
days.
I can do that.
I like blue shirt. Okay, I don't. I don't know. I wish you could remind me, but what's one of Harold's sons when I was growing up, but he wouldn't have been this old then.
Are you confused at all about Alan Watts' death? No? Thank you for the donation, but I'm curious to hear more about...
Your God, donation must have been past fan.
What was confusing about it? Oh, what's up, Sauce? From Valheim.
What's up, Sauce?
I miss it. I want to do that again. I need to get a computer, and then I could stream games again.
On your gamer too? I didn't think that'd be enough.
Do you think self-improvement is distraction?
Ooh.
It's only distraction if it's distracting you from something. Like if your goal is to improve, then it's not a distraction. You know? It just depends where your priorities are.
How easy it is to reach them, I would add. I'll be right back. I just noticed that I have a bit of buzz on my neck.
You believe Alan Watts drank himself to death? It's confusing considering the message. I don't understand how that, like, what message did he have that would be conflicting with? I feel like he was just living his life and just doing what he enjoys.
Quiet community he lives in, which seems perfect for him, although he seems to like to have the company and go live a lot too with thoughts, even though he is very zen.
So I'm just trying to enjoy the sun while I still have it.
Yes, I'm
What's your haircut called? Basically, I got a buzz cut
Me.
and just grew it out. I grew out my buzz cut.
Really?
All I did.
Well, I guess.
You're obviously stoned right now? Nope, I'm sober. And if you watched my last stream, you would
Pause for a moment. Doesn't sober only, I mean, not a big thing, but doesn't sober only apply to alcohol related? But then what would you say? I'm clean. No, I'm not. I don't know. Anyway, somebody that asked about drugs, isn't it? We do have a viewer that just tuned in, though. And if you recognize this, tell me. I've kind of covered it, but I'll cover it again. You know, my thoughts as why I'm multitasking this way. Otherwise, though, and there are moments where he is quiet, and therefore I will be too. But and you left, so whatever.
Way different when I smoke.
Could have been you.
When I'm sober. I would hope you could see the difference.
Yeah, you're not smoking.
People always think I'm stoned.
He's very calm, and something about the eyes sometimes, I think. So I'll let you take a look at the title. Feel free to comment on it and the description. It's pretty short. And I'm just kind of sharing a little bit of somebody that I'm a new fan of for the most part. Briefly, I kind of dipped out of being a fan in the past number of hours, but I'm back. I know I probably look like a hunter in this, which I don't know if that turns anybody off because I'm totally not a hunter. But
do you play any instruments?
I just
I play guitar.
Oh yeah, I remember
I
that.
have a couple videos, just messing around though.
Well, a couple. Let's see how you define it. So do I.
Yes, I am the just exist bro person.
Just exist bro person. There's probably a few of those though. For some reason my wrists are extra sensitive to the feeling. So.
I feel so much more calm right now than when I smoke. Or when I smoke weed, I get a lot of energy.
I can't remember why I. Oh, right, for the thing today.
High vibration. Why was bro breathing so loud? Breathing's good for you. Maybe I'm trying to encourage
Keeps you alive.
Breathe more. What's up, Tom Tom?
Tom Tom. Hi. Hey, I have to have some company while I'm waiting for viewers because this is meant to be interactive. Most of them are, but like I said, sometimes I have a bit more of a focus. I have the general ideas, but I don't have my hair down very often. Mostly, I don't like the feel of it on my neck. I like that song, and I used to, I guess, and it gets stuck to my beard. Or am I using it?
Oh yeah, not to.
But the hat helps, I think.
I think it would be so fun if I could do streams and have other people on the stream. Do you guys know if that's possible?
That's interesting. Let me pause. That's very interesting, actually, because first of all, he's young and he at least knows some tech basics. So I'm surprised he doesn't know that. However, I haven't let him fully speak, I suppose. And the thing is, and I don't know what that goal button is either, but the thing is that um, there used to be a way. I can't remember. I'm not as familiar with up until recently on the but with uploading on YouTube. Um, there used to be a way on Facebook. There was one particular time I tried it where it didn't do it. I think a few times I tried around then or on that occasion, and no wonder it reverses the sides. It's actually this side where it's sticking up. Whoop. But but ooh, it's really and it didn't hardly either. I'm really surprised it's comparable. You know, if I know, but I mean, there's here. But that's something I also want to watch. I don't have to necessarily do it in watch back mode, which I do and don't do very often on my own. But no, I don't think it's super noticeable. And if it's not noticeable on video, I would be noticeable in person. Just a certain something. I am noticing my gray hairs though, more on that side for some reason. But it makes me distinguished. They call it salt and pepper. That grade early, so it kind of feels symbolic in that way. Speaking of symbology, I had the most interesting thing happen the other day as I was live streaming, and we just got a viewer in to hear it. So, we were expecting a delivery, although we were actually expecting it the next day, and for whatever reason, I don't know because the dog reacted or whatever as the viewer goes, but I decided to go and look out the front door. And not only did we have a delivery in a great big box, but it was a bag of dog food, and those should have came with the rest of our groceries, but whatever. And they put a lot of bubble wrap packaging, but this is not a stationary device, so can't actually show you. By the way, they make colored bubble wrap. Did you know that? Anywho, and basically, there was a rabbit's foot on our deck. It looked really clean. It looked like it had been cleaned off. I think it was a rabbit, not a squirrel. It was a bit bigger, yeah. And they say those are lucky, so I don't think I may not. I don't know if it smells at all. I don't have a great sniffer, neither does Glenn. But I mean, just knowing that I have it in my possession, kind of cool. He said he wasn't necessarily glad to keep it, but understands that some people see it as lucky. So, and I haven't had much experience with rabbit's foot, so I guess we'll see. But so far, it's been a bit hit and miss. But it's only been a couple of days, so. But yeah, so.
On a stream.
Oops, it crashed. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do my call with that one. I don't know. Even though he calls himself a life coach, he doesn't seem to have that much to say.
Just exist, bro.
And sorry. And it's nice that he was going to make the time. I don't know. I'll have to see how I'm feeling at the moment. And I just kind of came out of relaxation mode. 2 things I do in my evening. So
I feel so much more calm right now.
Depending on if I need to look for videos for dinner.
When I smoke weed.
Because just us two. I think I might need to because
it's like very.
I did do a little bit on watching on YouTube, but I've been more post. I think this is my second or third podcast today. I did a short one, but like really short. But I don't know. I feel like I need to look a little bit. I think there's one that we started the other day we could finish, but there's not much of it maybe. So then, yeah, then what? I can come upstairs when I was doing piano and see. This app doesn't crash very much, so glad I got working again on the phone. Anyway, until we get comments and viewers, I'm gonna sit in the comfy seat. Kind of want to make sure the dog's being good. Oh, that's right. He's up here. I forgot.
Oh yeah, not to. That's what I like to hear.
Maybe he's just been
If I could do stream
Here's the thing, Glenn's been had this channel for a long time, and I think this is his. And plus, I've got it set to public. So I don't know how this guy gets so many. I mean, I think the most I've ever seen in the one time, it looked like a lot more, and then afterwards, the statistics told me there was about 3 or 4, which means that some people came back more than once, which I guess is kind of cool. But sometimes they stay for very long. But yeah, I mean, that's one thing I don't know. One thing I asked in one of my recent videos is just hashtags really help for that. Treating titles because if it's a song, popular song, and you search covers, and people are more curious to hear covers than the original sometimes. Discover new talent, then it can. But how else? How else do you? I've been meaning. I keep meaning to share it more on my Facebook, especially the new connections. But yeah, otherwise I don't know how else you get your channel out there. Nobody's watching it long, but like he's gotten 7 minutes, and it sounds like he's. I don't know if it's been the same few people, but there's been at least a couple people, maybe even as many as 4 or 5. So
Possible. Like if I could do an interview with somebody on a stream.
If I knew how to do it, I'd tell them. Hey, that'd be cool to do. Like I said, it depends on the device, but now that I'm rolling here, let me just look. Channel level settings.
Someone said smoking takes away from being present. I actually disagree.
I feel neutral about it.
Just depends how you do it.
Isn't there? What you do? I somehow got those.
It's crazy how villainized tobacco has become. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people, it's like everybody just repeats things they've heard before.
Almost couldn't get that thing out of the way.
Like, I bet if this was 1960 and I was smoking, everyone would not say anything about it. But just because of where we are.
It's interesting that there's an option for start a Q&A.
Ideas about things.
Because.
I'm not saying that everyone who's saying it's bad doesn't have their own
Manitoba
ideas.
LTD. Oh,
It
right.
just feels like a lot of people.
Doesn't that just happen?
Repeating things they've heard. But, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? How to get into consciousness? You're already consciousness. There's nothing to get into. You're here. This is it. If alcoholism is a coping mechanism, then is he not resisting life? The exact thing he says not to do. I don't see alcohol as a coping mechanism. It definitely can be.
Yeah, it can be.
But I don't know if it was for Alan. I don't know what it was for him.
And some people, it's for partying. Some people don't do it either way. My opinion. But now it's hard for me to take the deep breaths because of the physical symptoms I've been feeling, which have lessened a little bit, but they're still there sometimes. Now he's got one common sense as if we didn't have plenty already. I don't know why it wouldn't. It must be on different devices it shows, or they figure people are going to see it really live. Don't know why otherwise.
The present moment. Here's some energy. Rita.
Go for about another. Well, he leaves at 4:30, so maybe 30 minutes, half an hour, in other words, as if I needed to. Seems like maybe the better way to have said it, but I guess either works.
Are people not used to being on a lower, like just a calm vibration? Like just, it doesn't need to be I guess if you're scrolling through shorts,
I'm
you
just
get all
looking at
that
it.
stimulation, and then you come here. It could be like a sharp contrast because I'm not speaking very fast.
That's an interesting point.
But
I don't watch
it's
shorts, so
just
it's
the
pointless to click
wavelength
into.
I'm on.
I feel mostly.
That'd be kind of funny if I do streams and then I just do
And then somebody else puts them in mine.
meditation live stream. I don't know if anyone's ever thought to do that before.
Are you serious, dude? Well, it's true. A lot of them I've seen have been afterwards. I'm gonna just say that was just his wording in the moment, but then he slows down enough. He should have caught it. I don't know. It's kind of like, of course they have.
Yo, Tristan, I miss when we
Just
would
like
all
in a
make
group.
music. That was so fun. Me, Owen, you, and Bo, and we'd all make music.
This
I had
makes it
so much
music,
fun
bro.
doing that. I would love to do that. It's so hard to find people around here. Maybe I need to go
Here too.
travel and explore, and I can find
Even in a big
people who
city.
make music.
Music's a funny word, isn't it? Anyway.
How does the sun feel?
I almost tried to feel it myself. I'm not sitting in it, and it's not out right now either, really, pretty much.
Yo, genius. Maybe I should, Tristan. My semen retention streak is like 5 or 6 months.
What?
I don't really ever engage in that anymore.
No comment. But that's honestly, that's something, all right. And like, I'm sure he's got a life outside of YouTube, but he posts quite often, as do I. You know. And then he seems so calm. It seems like he has some hobbies. I still don't know if he has a job. He seems to live alone. I don't know where. Okay, like. But I need to know these things. So.
I'm not sleeping. When I close my eyes, it's actually funny.
Is it?
I'm elevating my consciousness. So like when I sit here.
That's one way to put it.
Instead of falling asleep, it's really the opposite. I'm going up.
I don't know if it's funny enough, but you're gonna go up. Let's go ahead. Nobody's watching at the moment, but so I'm providing commentary because, yeah. And people want to watch us back later and work on a comment based on the title while they're listening.
You guys want to see what it looks like when I get high? I can smoke. I'll smoke some weed.
Yeah, I think I have probably seen. I've rarely seen Ryan actually fun quite a bit. Clearly, he's not scripted though. He's just making this up on as he goes. That's fine. I mean, I do it most of the time too. Doing it right now, in fact.
All right, boys. I'll be right back.
It's the other thing. He sometimes assumes that it's only men watching his channel. I don't know why. Good thing about after it's live, or possibly during, but I don't think so. So you can skip because I don't want you back now. I'm bored. I don't have viewers of my own at the moment. Without viewers of my own.
I don't want to smoke too much.
Probably
I
good.
don't
Yeah.
want to smoke too much weed. because yesterday I got like I was streaming and it was a little too much. Kevin, he said, how can I be of faith every day? It's difficult how to maintain the energy.
When did these people actually? I didn't have a faster answer for that.
Something I've come to realize is the more I evolve, the more aware I become, the more conscious I become, the more things become my responsibility, as in my own experience.
Well, they always are to an extent.
If I want to experience love, I can't expect love to just come to me.
Yeah, but it would.
Sit there and say, "Oh, no one's
Any
loving
of
me,
us.
no one's messaging me, no one is telling me that they love me."
This is where I think
what
we're tuned
I
in.
have to do is find love within myself,
which is also
and
kind of true.
gratitude, something to be grateful for, and it's an action. It takes real conscious.
I'm just curious.
Like if no one gives me love.
Just curious if this will draw you in.
You know, like I have to be the one to make it for myself, and that's just what I've come to realize. And it's not just love, like anything you want at all. You have to be the one to create it. And I'm
if
not
I do it like that,
saying,
then it's not showing his face
you want
and
this, so you're gonna go and
disrespecting his
look
privacy.
around
But I don't know
and
if he'd see it that way anyway.
outside of yourself.
Certainly not intending for it to be that way.
No, rather I'm saying you have to figure out how to go
But
within
this is
yourself and create it from inside out, rather than looking for it outside of you. You know?
Boom, boom, sorry. If anybody's wondering after the fact, I am not. But okay. That's just realness. That's just telling my truth. But and I feel bad because, you know, he says at one point in this that he doesn't like that, but we all should a little bit accept it. I don't know, it shouldn't fill our ego, but taking it graciously. I forget how I put it in the live, but that doesn't show now, so.
Random said, what if your mind is just chaotic now?
I'd be very curious if he reads any of my comments, and that'll be coming up soon. So,
is it your mind that is chaotic?
416. Okay.
And if you're saying it's your mind,
this was something to wrap your head around.
It's different than saying it's me. So if your mind is something that's not you, if you're not the one that's chaotic, but rather you are experiencing a chaotic event, even if it's an internal event, if you're just experiencing, can you make that distinction? Like, can you see what is you and what is just
that cool that I wouldn't have?
Because if you can see what is just you, there is no chaos. Because what is just you is peace. It's stillness. It's the silence. It's the formless. Does that make sense?
Someone who's too tenacious that just couldn't do it to have strangers asking me that question every time. It's just so annoying. I guess I'm the type of person, if I was ever going to do it, I wouldn't be calling. I'd just go and do it. Or, I don't know, maybe I would. Can't seem to, but it's frustrating because it just means I go through, amongst joys, more pain than I would like to. So we have a viewer just. Okay, so I'm just kind of watching something here because it was a little quiet here for a while and nobody was really here. Someone just tuned in. I'll let you look at the title, and then if you have any comments, you left, so I'll go back to what I was doing.
How can you be in the frequency of love and also want to be an MMA fighter?
Wasn't that anything that rude that I just said? It's just a little phrase I have, you little kind of thing, but very mild.
Sport.
Most people might call a kid and be completely fine people.
They're both agreeing, I am willing to do this. I want to do this. and then afterwards it was just a fight. It doesn't permanently give them trauma because they are fighters. They know that that's what they're gonna do.
Depends on the person, and same with Lord
And
Presley.
most of the time they're doing
Certainly
it out of
does.
love. Like they like
But it can't be like
the
that.
fight.
But
It's creation. So when two people are doing that together, that's a very beautiful dance of energy.
you need beautiful
there's
dances of
nothing
energy.
negative about this at all. But it's different.
What if I do this? Will that bring anybody in?
On the street, see some hobo start beating his ass. That's different. Because he didn't sign up for that. He doesn't see the beauty and the love.
Really well put.
You know? I feel like that's just kind of common sense.
Really well put. My company companion brother at this time. With nobody else here.
I would prefer if you guys don't comment things about my appearance, like saying, "Oh, my friend thinks you're cute." I would prefer if you don't say things like that, because
What was that thing I saw that people do
I'm
once?
not
It's
trying
like,
to be on that frequency, and if I'm seeing it,
it was
it
like,
gives my ego a chance to take it and create something out of it that I'm not trying to have. So I prefer if you don't.
I've never said anything. I mean, from time to time, but I've never said it. And I think he should, not that he was like really strongly aggressive about that there, but I think he should just accept it, you know.
What do you mean, like
Not the worst thing.
you said, it is crazy how your breath changes so much. Can you explain what you mean?
But mind looking back at the comments of that reality one. That's off. You were there for a moment. Just seeing things. Not viewers. Humbug scalabags. Humbug scalabags. I don't know if we commented on that video. I wanted to say that they were kind of ignoring the baby who really didn't quite maybe understand what they were doing in the video, and even though they were being silly, I don't know, it just kind of seemed weird. Felt like they were being ignored. You're being cute and well behaved. And I'm cute and well behaved, and I get ignored. And I guess it triggered me. You know, sometimes, you know, I do. It'd be funny if it turns out you did read one of my comments, and I don't remember the pause being this long, but I don't think this is where I stopped watching, but it definitely, it's in and around where I tuned in. I don't know what that title's about, but ironically, he too tried a hashtag. First one I've ever seen him do, I think. They do and don't seem to be done a lot.
It's a beautiful day.
In the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a gamer. Just kidding. So, it was a little quiet here for a while. Nobody was actually here. Someone is now. You're welcome to comment based on the title. There's a small I'm gonna start doing that though. Like if they come and then they go, I'm gonna mind off say other stuff, I guess. But sometimes, but I'm gonna stop kind of in my tracks what I'm saying because they're not valuing it. I'm saying it kind of for their benefit because they haven't heard it once yet. Perhaps I can't say unless they've commented and they say it's me, I'm back. Okay, well then I know. Especially if there's only one of you there, then I know it's like okay, well you have heard it, but otherwise I figure it's a new person but if they're not going to be respectful or whatever you want to call it, and I mean, again, they're not saying anything mean, but it's still a little rude or confusing. And if they're going to do that, why should I, say it again? Say it again, say it again. Oh my God. Da, da, da. I was hoping for at least a few comments. I thought I didn't use certain language, but it said come fill the comments, didn't I? Is that what I called it? Yeah. Nobody's done it. Well, there hasn't been that many people even here briefly, even here in general.
Justice helped me to be in the present more. Absolutely. Why do you guys think I will just be here and then I stop and breathe and just be with nature, be with like source, and then I come down here. I'm like, hey, how's it going?
Hey.
I hope you guys are having a beautiful, beautiful day.
And even though nobody's watching right now, I hope you are too. Share some of it below. I'm trying to make a positive impact on your day, so it's the least you could do. But nobody's watching, so I just want to say that just in case people are watching after the fact, and they're like, but they didn't do it, and he said it so nicely. Well, they're not here to hear me say it, so. But if you're watching this back and you hear it, I hope you do it. Yes.
Latif, it does.
You.
We gotta do is stand in a forest, like in a bunch of trees, and like put all your consciousness into the inhale, and you'll feel life like saturate. It's like a drug. It's like just breathing oxygen in the forest.
But he's doing it.
And then we cut all the trees down and we put concrete everywhere.
When we're building all this stuff, look at this again.
Like our main source of that beautiful energy. We just destroy it. Build some fucking Walmarts.
That part I don't really feel is worth hearing again necessarily. It's not terrible, but just feeling it's not. When he pops out his chest, they look like boobies. Didn't think you noticed, but then I guess he can't see us live chat after the fact either. Or maybe he can, depending on the device. I'll have to look at one of our other ones that had conversation. It's the very first one today. That title's so long, I think the video will be longer. I don't know whether to acknowledge or not. And they left. Even that light acknowledgement. Are you that watch me as I put up my chapstick. Sorry. But some people would genuinely like it when they see it, you know. I wish I could tag people because there's one person that I know is following, two recent ones, but one's just a first name and it's common-ish, and the other one I don't think I type it right. But there's somebody we actually kind of know, like that we've met.
I'm experiencing a very
kind of too
state of reality right now.
And I could tag them, but I don't think I know how. Let me try it though on this device. I think I have tried, but maybe it just wasn't working at the time.
Through the stream, so that you can know. But hey, I do my best.
No. So you're just going to hear something in the background, but also welcome to see the title. So there was only one person here. I'm gonna wrap up soon, so if you can stay for 10, they left, or be rude. See if I care. I do kind of, but not much.
I'm gonna go get some more water. So
No, I need you to fill the quiet gap while I
make sure you're
while I
breathing.
do this task.
I want you to forget everything you ever knew.
Yeah, that part kind of.
Even
I
though
think
right
that's where I
now
went away. Like that's
it's hard to
craziness. Not
right here.
possible. Not
Let
possible.
everything happen. And
No
you're the one
offense,
who's
but that being said, I think I've sent both of
don't
them
have
a
to
few
do
things to
something.
catch up
Just
on, so
think
I
about
should
it.
wait now. Oh, and she saw that. 11:25. It's 4:30 now. Yeah, so I guess even though I still got 2 days where I totally could, and Sunday technically, be working on getting ahead with that thing, maybe it's not meant to be. We'll find out. They've been very accommodating trying to work with me, but I can't easily get there. The only option would be, and I need advice about it, the rest my mother for ride. I'm seeing a yellow car there, but I don't think it'd be a completely happy track. But I wouldn't have necessarily because I mean, even though they're meeting me, it's otherwise my phone. I'm only coming because I have to do the computer stuff there. But I hope it works like Natasha's.
Bro, it's funny.
Not sure what to think. And I have
Think about
to
it.
try not to fall down some rabbit holes and get through. Well, I'll look at Saturday, maybe a little bit different, but Thursday, Friday, I'm gonna need some company on my streams for sure. Sunday, I don't know, but I know Glenn will be home, and then Monday morning, you sure look fine, as the viewer goes. Like, how dare you say that? Okay, yeah, that's before that, but just before I told them how fine they looked on Monday morning. Monday morning. It's at least 2 or 3 Monday morning songs. Anywho, but basically, if it doesn't work, I have to look at other volunteer work options. We really will. The only thing is I wish, and it's not that freaking far, but I don't want to eat into an appointment. Although I might be able to open my emails while offline. Seems like Gmail sometimes is able to do that. Maybe I'll do a tester. I'll kind of just walk down the street a little bit and test it out. Although I'm always worried, but sometimes my messenger's wonky or mostly that lately. Sometimes I restart it anyway. And I don't know the difference between restart and um, power off, I think it is. But and if one is better than the other. But basically, yeah. So I might do a test on that and hope that if it works in the test, then it'll work when I need it to. And yeah, I mean, as much as I want to look at more volunteering options, if this other one doesn't pan out, I think I really want to also look at what do we mean here? At I need to look at career options. Not that too much, but I'd feel more stable and I'd feel more successful.
Someone said
But I don't know why I've
see,
been given these other two things to kind of almost happen, and technically for it too, only for them not to. Like, what's the purpose of that? I mean, I already know I'm resilient for the most part. So what's the purpose of that happening? I think God's really busy and he falls short in people's lives sometimes. And even though angel spirits can have great power, they're visiting other loved ones. Some I know about, some I don't. Some there, some not there. And even though I'm important and they're with me often, when they're not, um, maybe that's when things fall off the tracks a little bit. I don't know. 4:34 he'll be on his way home soon.
like this. But I'm just curious what you mean by that. Like, what version of reality do you have in your mind? You know?
No, I like salad, you know?
Because I'm enjoying my reality.
You can tell.
I feel like sometimes people, they don't enjoy their own reality. So then they just
Enjoy moments of it.
Everyone else is secretly miserable. But you don't have to be. You know, you can actually
I'd rather not be. and not always.
Any limitations. If you want to enjoy your life, there's no set way to do it. You just do
right
where your soul wants to go somewhere. It has a push. So what you do is you just follow the push.
And you follow the push.
And you just go where you go.
I'll be back. I'm going to go follow the push. Just kidding. No, I got to go do something quickly.
I got some fresh water. Fresh cold. You want to know why I look hot? It's because at the start of the stream I was sober. And then people said, oh, this guy seems like he's hot.
Hey, look, what?
When I was sober.
What I miss?
So then I was like, oh, you want to see what it really looks like when I get high? I'm like, yeah. So I smoked. And now you're seeing. You wanted to see what it looks like. So I'm just showing you.
Sorry, the nozzle is broken on this if anybody's wondering after the fact.
Are my eyes red?
I don't know if I need to hear him talk about that, though. That kind of stuff is not usually on this channel, even though Glenn's even when he has not to do with that video on it. But no judgment.
You're the ones who asked for this, okay?
So was it to Brittany or was it to Esmond? I feel like I didn't mention it to both of them.
And to just be myself.
Mentioning about how smoking looks.
It doesn't look how people want it to. Like say I'm being perceived in a certain light and it makes me look stupid. Or I look goofy, like, oh, what's this hairstyle?
What's
I don't fucking know, I'm just growing it out. So I'm just gonna be myself. No matter fucking what. Forking. I'm gonna stop cussing. It doesn't sound right.
How much it
and here's the funny thing.
How many requests you send out? You just say he's a sub cushion? What the heck is that? I must have heard wrong.
When you look stupid for being yourself. But when you start looking super cool for being yourself, that's when they're gonna switch up and be like, oh, I was wrong about this guy. They'll switch just like that.
If you have any negative feelings, you're wrong.
You come to realize it doesn't matter what anybody thinks at all.
What's wrong with one of these?
Like it's your life. You're the one living it.
I almost played that song the other day.
Just live it. Enjoy it.
Guy roasted almond drenched in dark chocolate, covered with sea salt and turbinado sugar. Yeah. They're actually kind of good. Anyway. They're not mine, though. The other person that lives here. So, any thoughts on the title? I don't mean to single you out or anything, and you certainly I am okay if you just stick around and watch. I'm even happier if you feel comfortable enough to comment, though. And yeah, I'm not saying names because I don't see it until you comment. But yeah, any thoughts on the title? I welcome you to watch to put them in the comments. I'm just finishing. I was multitasking because it was really quiet here for a while. I'm just finishing watching one of my new favorite subscriptions, I guess. And I've also got to say, since you have been here for about 4 or 5 minutes now, first of all, thank you. Second of all, I might keep this rolling because one thing about live chats, unless it depends on the device, so I'm going to look into that later today. Now we got 2, is that it only shows when live. I'm noticing it with his, but again, that's on the same device that I'm not noticing it with mine. And I can't remember if I've noticed it on the computer because I don't usually do them that way. So I can only see them while they're live. And since we have 2 people who have been here for a few minutes now and might be working on a comment, I'll keep rolling and come check in a moment. However, in about 5-10 minutes, this is a shared channel. Glenn will be home, and I'm going to go downstairs for a few minutes. And so then you'll be able to focus on anything you want to write if you're not able to multitask. I mean, we all have to sometimes, right? But and then somebody can say, "Hey, he's playing a video in this video," but they both laughed. But I don't know if it was intentional because I know that a couple of the people that we've had commenting other videos, they've done that occasionally. Usually they say something first, but whether it's their internet connection or something else comes in on their device, people are very suggestible, distractible, myself included. So they didn't even like first though, so I don't know. So then they go check that, or maybe they get a phone call, then they come back. Maybe it's a good time to wrap up though, because they didn't stick around. If they come back afterwards, I'll see their comments as a non-live chat comment.
It is kind of crazy how different I look when
I think they'd realize that was okay. And I don't want to necessarily have to repeat that to the next person, and it is getting close to when I'm going to have to wrap up, so I think I shall. This one I'm watching back is almost finished, though.
I think I'm going to be sober more often. Almost because
40, about 16 minutes left. 1, 2, 3, 4.